Ladies and gentlemen, what does it mean to truly know who you are? Is it about what others think of you? Is it about what you've achieved? Or is it something deeper? In our fast-paced world, we often get caught up in external validations, our jobs, our titles, our social media personas. But when all of that fades away, what remains? There are 3 questions you must ask yourself if you want to understand who you really are. These questions have the power to strip away the noise and reveal your essence. Let's dive into the first one. What do I value the most? This is the foundation of your identity. Your values are the guiding principles that shape your actions, your decisions, and your relationships. They're what you hold dear, no matter the circumstances. Your values are not negotiable. They define your boundaries, your purpose, and your direction. When you know your core values, everything else falls into place. 2, what am I willing to sacrifice? We all have dreams, desires, and ambitions, but achieving them often requires sacrifice. The question is, what are you truly willing to give up to become the person you want to be? Is it comfort, security, or maybe relationships that no longer serve you? The willingness to make sacrifices reveals how committed you are to growth. It's easy to say you want something, but what will you give up to make it a reality? 3, how do I respond to adversity? Life will always throw challenges your way. How you respond to adversity speaks volumes about who you are. Do you rise to the occasion, or do you shrink away in fear? The way you navigate hardship determines your resilience, your strength, and ultimately your character. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about how you face it. These 3 questions, what do I value, what am I willing to sacrifice, how do I respond to adversity, are not just philosophical musings. They are practical, actionable reflections that will allow you to live a life aligned with who you truly are. When you answer these questions honestly, you can begin to strip away the layers of expectations and pressures that surround you and live from a place of authenticity. So let me ask you now, are you ready to confront these questions? Are you willing to be honest with yourself? And will you live by the answers, no matter where they lead? Because, my friends, when you can answer these 3 questions with clarity, you'll find that you're not just living, you're truly being. And that's where the magic begins. Thank you, without a subtitle or conclusion. The first question we must explore is, what do I value the most? Your values are the invisible threads that connect your actions, your decisions, and your relationships. They are the unspoken truths that guide you, even when you're not fully aware of it. Think about the last time you had to make a tough decision. Did you choose the option that aligned with your values, even if it wasn't the easiest choice? Or did you go along with the crowd, trying to meet expectations that didn't truly resonate with you? When you look back on those moments, it's often clear that your values, the things that matter most to you, are the true compass. Whether you realize it or not, they are driving the course of your life. Values go beyond what you say you care about. They show up in what you actually do. It's easy to say you value honesty, but do your actions align with that claim? It's easy to say you value freedom, but how often do you make decisions that actually support your autonomy and independence? These values aren't just ideals to ponder, they are practices to live by. When you get clear about your values, you can make decisions that align with who you are at your core. For example, if you deeply value connection with others, your relationships will reflect that. Your time, energy, and love will be poured into creating meaningful bonds. If creativity is a value for you, you'll seek out opportunities to express yourself through art, work, or personal projects. The more you live in alignment with your values, the more you feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment. On the other hand, when you live in conflict with your values, when you make choices that go against what you truly believe in, you'll feel it. It may show up as guilt, resentment, or a deep sense of dissatisfaction. This is a warning sign that you are not living authentically. It's in these moments that it's important to pause and reflect. Is this decision in line with my true values? If not, it's time to reassess and course correct. In today's world, there are countless pressures trying to shape who we are. Social media, societal expectations, even the people closest to us. It's easy to lose sight of your own values when you're constantly measuring yourself against someone else's standards. But here's the truth. When you can reconnect with what you truly value, when you can separate your genuine beliefs from the noise around you, you will find that your life becomes clearer, your choices become simpler, and your actions become more aligned with your authentic self. Let me know if you'd like me to expand any other part, or certainly here's an expanded version of the section on self-reflection is key. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools you have in understanding who you truly are. It's the practice of stepping back and looking inward, of observing your thoughts, emotions, actions, and patterns without judgment. Through self-reflection, you come to realize not just who you think you are, but who you actually are at your core. Many people move through life in a rush, constantly reacting to external stimuli, pressures from work, relationships, societal expectations, and in doing so, they rarely pause to check in with themselves. But if you don't take the time to reflect, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters to you. You may end up living a life shaped by the opinions and expectations of others, rather than one that aligns with your authentic values. The beauty of self-reflection is that it offers you the space to process and understand your experiences. Think about a time when you felt proud of yourself, or when you achieved something important. What was it about that moment that made it so significant? Maybe it was the way you stayed true to your values, or how you faced challenges head-on. Reflecting on these moments helps you understand what truly drives you. It reveals the qualities, decisions, and actions that align with your deepest self. On the flip side, self-reflection also allows you to learn from moments of struggle or failure. It's easy to move on from setbacks quickly, especially when the world demands constant progress. But taking the time to look back on those moments, to ask yourself why things went the way they did, is where the real growth happens. Did you shy away from taking risks? Did fear hold you back? Or maybe you didn't trust your intuition when you should have? Self-reflection helps you identify these patterns, giving you the opportunity to break free from them moving forward. There is also a deeper element to self-reflection that goes beyond looking at your past actions. It's about examining your thoughts and beliefs, the things you hold to be true, sometimes without even realizing it. These internal narratives can have a powerful impact on the choices you make. Are you telling yourself that you're not worthy of success? Are you subconsciously holding yourself back because you fear rejection or failure? These limiting beliefs often arise from past experiences, but through self-reflection, you can begin to untangle them and replace them with empowering ones. By becoming aware of these inner stories, you gain the ability to rewrite them, freeing yourself from mental barriers that keep you from living fully. Self-reflection is also about being honest with yourself. It's easy to give yourself excuses or to justify decisions that don't align with your values. But true self-reflection demands that you get real about who you are and how you're showing up in the world. Are you living in alignment with your values? Are you taking responsibility for your actions? Are you being authentic, or are you trying to please others or fit into a mold? Answering these questions requires deep honesty and vulnerability. But it's through this process that you uncover the truth of your character. When you take time for self-reflection, you open the door to self-awareness. And self-awareness is the cornerstone of growth. It's the key to identifying areas where you can improve, as well as celebrating the strengths that make you unique. It's also the path to living more intentionally. And when you know who you are and what you truly want, it becomes easier to make choices that support the life you want to create. Let me know if you'd like me to expand on other sections or clarify anything. Certainly. Here's an expanded version of sacrifice is part of growth. When we think about growth, we often picture progress, success, or the achievement of goals. But what many people fail to realize is that growth doesn't happen without sacrifice. In fact, sacrifice is an inherent part of the process. To evolve into the person you want to be, you must be willing to give up something, whether it's comfort, familiarity, or even relationships that no longer serve your higher purpose. Consider your dreams, the big goals that excite you, the aspirations that light a fire within you. In order to reach those goals, something has to change. You can't expect things to stay the same and still achieve greater things. Sacrifice is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Every time you step into new territory, you are essentially letting go of something in your current life, something that feels safe, something that feels known. But without that release, growth becomes stagnant. Take your time, for example. We all have 24 hours in a day, but how we spend those hours speaks volumes about what we value. If you want to advance in your career, develop a new skill, or deepen your personal relationships, you might need to sacrifice something else, like the time you spend on social media or binge watching TV. You might have to sacrifice late nights out or weekends of relaxation to focus on building your future. It's not about deprivation. It's about making conscious choices that align with your bigger picture. When you choose to invest your time and energy in things that align with your values, you are prioritizing your growth, even if it means letting go of short-term pleasures. Sacrifice is not always about external things either. It can also involve internal shifts. You might have to sacrifice old beliefs and thought patterns that are no longer serving you. For example, you may have to let go of the belief that you are not good enough or that success is reserved only for others. These internal sacrifices, releasing old habits, shifting limiting beliefs, and stepping outside your comfort zone, are just as crucial to growth as the external sacrifices you make. Sometimes the hardest sacrifices are those that involve people. As you grow, your relationships will inevitably shift. People who were once close to you might not understand your journey, and that's okay. Growth often requires that you surround yourself with people who challenge and support you, not people who hold you back or keep you in the past. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life without thought, but rather recognizing that certain relationships may need to evolve or change in order for you to continue growing. In some cases, letting go of toxic relationships or ones that no longer align with your path is necessary for your well-being and progress. Even bigger sacrifices, like career changes or relocating to pursue a new opportunity, often come with a sense of loss. Maybe it's leaving behind financial security, a familiar environment, or the stability of your current life. But the question to ask yourself is the sacrifice worth the growth? If the answer is yes, you are making a conscious choice to step into a better version of yourself, and that's a decision that always carries value in the long run. Of course, sacrifice doesn't mean you have to give up everything. It's about being intentional and making strategic choices. It's the balance of letting go of what's not aligned with your greater purpose while keeping what truly matters. You don't need to give up your entire life to grow, but you do need to be willing to part with what's not moving you forward. The truth is, you can't have it all, not at once anyway. As you grow, you will need to make difficult decisions about where to invest your energy, your time, and your resources. Growth demands that you be mindful about how you direct your attention. And if you're serious about evolving, that will inevitably mean sacrifice. Whether it's letting go of habits that no longer serve you, giving up an old comfort zone, or saying goodbye to relationships that don't support your future. In the end, it's not about what you lose in the process. It's about who you become as a result. Every sacrifice you make brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. Growth demands it, and if you embrace it, you'll find that the rewards far outweigh the losses. Let me know if you'd like to explore more aspects of this or expand further. Certainly! Here's an expanded version of Clarity Brings Authenticity. Clarity is one of the most powerful forces in shaping who we are and how we move through the world. It's the ability to see things as they truly are, without distortion, without the noise of other people's opinions, and without the clutter of external distractions. When you gain clarity about who you are and what you truly want, you begin to live with authenticity. You stop chasing external validations and instead act from a place of true self-understanding. Imagine the feeling of waking up each day knowing exactly what matters most to you. Imagine making decisions based on your values, not because you're trying to meet someone else's expectations or fit into a certain mold. That's the power of clarity. It's the foundation upon which your authentic self can emerge. Without clarity, you may find yourself constantly second-guessing your choices. You may make decisions based on fear because you're uncertain of what's right for you. You may allow others to influence your actions, leading to a life that feels disconnected or out of alignment with your true desires. Clarity removes that fog. When you know what you stand for, what you value, and what you want, your choices become sharper, more deliberate, and aligned with your deeper sense of purpose. When you're clear about who you are, you stop playing roles or pretending to be someone you're not. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion of what others want from you or what society expects, but authenticity is about shedding those layers of falsehoods and returning to the truth of who you really are. This doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out, but it does mean that you're honest with yourself about your desires, your limitations, and your intentions. Clarity also allows you to establish stronger boundaries. When you know what matters to you, it becomes much easier to say no to things that drain your energy or take you off course. It's not about being rigid or unapproachable. It's about protecting your time and energy so that you can pour them into the things that align with your vision. When you're clear about your priorities, it's easier to reject distractions and stay focused on what truly moves you forward. Furthermore, clarity allows you to embrace your uniqueness. We live in a world that often encourages conformity. From the way we look to the way we behave, there are countless pressures to fit into predefined categories. But when you have clarity, you realize that your individuality is your strength. You stop trying to imitate others and instead lean into your own voice, your own strengths, and your own path. Authenticity is not about being perfect in the eyes of others. It's about being true to yourself, flaws and all. In addition, clarity helps you navigate challenges and uncertainties with confidence. Life will always present obstacles, but when you're clear on your purpose, you can weather storms with a sense of conviction. You understand why you're pursuing a certain path, and that deeper understanding allows you to remain steady when things get tough. Your clarity becomes your anchor. Even in the face of adversity, you're able to make decisions with confidence because you have a clear vision of where you're headed. It's also worth mentioning that clarity is a continuous process. It's not a one-time revelation. As you grow and evolve, your sense of clarity will shift and deepen. Your values, goals, and dreams may change, And that's okay. Embrace this ongoing evolution. What's important is that you remain committed to gaining clarity along the way. Regular self-reflection, journaling, and honest introspection can help you reconnect with your inner truth, especially when the world around you gets overwhelming or noisy. When you live with clarity, authenticity becomes inevitable. You stop questioning your worth because you understand it. You stop pretending to be someone else because you are confident in who you are. And you stop chasing after external markers of success because you know that fulfillment comes from living in alignment with your true self, not from meeting other people's expectations. The beauty of clarity is that it simplifies life. When you are clear about who you are and what you want, your decisions become easier, your actions more deliberate, and your life more focused. There's no more wondering if you're doing the right thing because you'll already know that the path you're on is the one that's true to you. Let me know if you'd like any further expansion or if you'd like me to explore another section. Of course, here's a suitable ending for the speech that ties everything together. As we reflect on the 3 key questions that determine who we really are: what do I value? What am I willing to sacrifice? How do I respond to adversity? We realize that the answers are not just intellectual exercises. They are invitations to live more deeply, more authentically, and with greater purpose. These questions guide us toward a life that is aligned with our true selves. So I encourage you to take a moment today and every day to reconnect with your values, to commit to them, even when it's challenging, to embrace the sacrifices required for your growth. And when hardship arises, don't shy away from it. Face it with the understanding that it is in those difficult moments that your true character is revealed. Because in the end, who you are is not defined by the circumstances around you or the opinions of others. It is defined by the choices you make in those quiet, transformative moments, by your commitment to live authentically and in alignment with your deepest beliefs. So ask yourself, are you ready to live in a way that reflects who you truly are? Are you ready to commit fully and without hesitation to the person you are becoming? The journey of self-discovery and growth may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Thank you. This ending wraps up the speech by reinforcing the key themes and leaving the audience with a call to action and personal reflection. Let me know if you'd like any further adjustments.